in Daniel 3, we find the story of Nebuchadnezzar. We find the story of him creating this golden image that everybody had to bow down to. And the way the story goes is that Nebuchadnezzar looked at the people and said, I am so awesome and the statue is so wonderful. You have to bow down and worship me or I will throw you into a pit of fire. Y'all remember that story? Later on we get Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. I'll get into them in a minute. Let me just tell you the message that I got. I'm sitting there listening to this guy preach this. And it hits me like a ton of bricks how the church has gotten off track. Because of what I just talked about. The 3 phases of Jesus. Character, life, price so that you can have life. Does that make sense to you? This is where Daniel 3 comes in. What does this sound like? If you don't get saved, you're going to burn in hell. What does that sound like? Does that sound like a Christian message? Not this one, because all of you, that's the Christian message. The Christian message is get saved or you're going to burn. That's Nebuchadnezzar's message. Nebuchadnezzar was an example of God. True. Are you listening? Let me tell you the better way to say this. You're burning and on fire and God came to redeem you out of the fire. True. It's not you're going to hell. You're in hell. You're standing in the midst of no hope. You're standing in the midst of nothing can help you. You have no healing. You have no place. You are literally in the hands and the grips of Satan himself. Right now, there is a kingdom of hell on earth and there is a kingdom of heaven on earth. And Jesus is the guy standing outside the fire saying, come out of the fire and be free and delivered. I was so shocked to find out that we've been preaching in the church Nebuchadnezzar's message. If you don't bow down to Jesus Christ, you're going to burn. Jesus even interrupted that message, and he wasn't even born yet. Amen? Now listen to this. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego didn't bow down. Don't bow to false idols. Literally, I'm going to tell you the truth, and this is no lie. Muhammad is a lie. Buddha is a lie. Christian is a lie, and everybody in between. Amen? They're all liars. They're not gods. They're not little g gods. They're liars. They're dead. They're humans. They were literally human. There were no divinity in them. There was no holiness in them. There was no righteousness in them. There was no sinlessness in them. They are all liars and humans who got people to buy into what they were. Literally, Charles Manson is in the same category. To get people to buy into what they are. Buddha, Krishna, Muhammad, and Charles Manson are all in the same box. They're in the same fire they were in before. When they were on earth, they're in the same fire. Amen? They didn't get delivered out of the fire. Now let me just tell you, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, Jesus wanted to show them something about the earth, and this is so prophetic, about the earth's condition and what he's coming to do in the earth's condition. So Nebuchadnezzar, being a bad preacher, street preacher, telling everybody they're going to hell, he came along and he grabbed the 3 and he gave them to the soldiers and said, throw them into the fiery furnace. As they did, the soldiers were killed. That's a good king, isn't it? You're doing his work and he's going to let you die for doing his work. That's stupid. All of a sudden he throws them in there and this is Nebuchadnezzar. Nebuchadnezzar, he goes like this. Whoa, wait a minute. Didn't we throw 3 guys in there? Didn't we throw 3? And he said, yeah. He said, well, who's that 4th guy in there? And you know what? This preacher's preaching this at chapel. And I'm getting a whole different message. Because what I realized is when you are with Jesus on this earth, you are walking through the fires of hell on this earth. You're not delivered from it. You're walking through it with Him. And when you are with Him, there is no bondage of sin. All the bondages of the natural realm have been busted off of you, burn away. Because of His holy fire, His consuming fire takes away what His price in the last phase where He opened the door for the kingdom. He unbound you you from sin, and now you can walk through the fires of this earth, are you listening, without even catching the smell of smoke. Does that just open? I mean, my brain started, I'm just excited about that. I mean, I really am. I'm excited that literally the world is on fire. It's a burning, scorching hell. Have you looked at the news lately? Have you seen what people do to each other lately? Have you been around people? Have you seen what people do to each other? You're living, literally, Jesus didn't come to make this world holy. That's after something else takes place, amen? He came to make us holy. He came to make us walk through the fire without any stench, without any burns, without being touched by those sins of this world. See, what He did on that cross was He said, listen, I'm the all-consuming fire. Just stay with me and I'll burn away all your sins and all your unrighteousness and everything you don't have that's not of me. But you got to renew your mind. You got to change the way you think. You can't think like the world anymore. Somebody goes, man, you're on a roll today.